Okay, so the topics are mostly about mirroring. Sacred Mirrors is you can look up the YouTube by Greg Brayton. A scene, Sacred Mirrors. He's got some shorter ones and some very 2 hour ones. I just see how you like it. Have a taste. I'm recommending that you look into it, especially his longer one, because he tells a lot of personal stories that really help illustrate. If you don't get the concept, listen to the one that's 2 hours plus. Well, what else are you gonna do? You spend 2 hours watching a Netflix, like seriously. Binge watch some Greg Braden and lots of other good stuff. And then people who are also come up on the search for him as well, Sacred Mirrors. Okay, what we're going to talk to you from Ascended Master Sananda is what he would like you to take home as a teaching. Um, the famous one that the people here remind him of is look within. What do you get when someone asks you a question, not answering with your reactive mind, they call it in Scientology. Reactive mind in Scientology is you read a lot of books, you read a lot of magazine, you watch a lot of TV, and you've got some very erudite friends that you've got you just do video chat with smart people around the world, and you can't be beat because you've just got the best. Well, Sananda's going to say, I know, but those are you talking about these pre existing media dominated stories. And you're stuck, always being the McLaughlin group from PBS TV. They did it best. Why try and emulate the McLaughlin group? Instead, why don't you do more like, I don't know, Prime Disclosure? Because they don't do a good job on Prime Disclosure. On YouTube, Prime Disclosure, they don't. They put any old jackass on there. They're constantly talking about DNA upgrades as if DNA is already a reality. I'm sorry, you were taught DNA was real by the government owned schools, designed to make you a sheeple and a drone. I'm sorry, even if you go to the science of mind, people, they are going to tell you that that's bullshit. Because even Hugh Land is going to tell you that. Hugh Land of the Ho'oponopono. Because they all tell you the same. DNA is fictitious. Oh, I say it is. They might say, I don't know. In Science of Mind, they're going to call it a secondary cause. Well, you have to look up Science of Mind secondary cause in Google and see what they give you. It'll be something out of the textbook, The Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. In essence, I don't know. It's like you're imposing a placebo effect on somebody. Well, everybody knows that when you pop medical pills from, Pfizer, for example, it's all placebo effect. Why? Because you've already created a spell in your mind. There's such things as diseases. Well, why? Because got a spell in your mind that human animal has got an inferior immune system to a seagull. You got like the fluoride stare. You got to go and Google that one. You're waiting for me to explain it. You. You got to go way back in evolutionary tree to find a common ancestor between birds and mammals. Somewhere. Let's go with the reptiles. Birds evolved out of reptiles, and so did mammals. So, at some point, way back in linear time, birds, Jonathan Livingston Seagull, flying out there, and me, Bobby Burrows. Well, in linear time, if we, I don't know, Let's say we were reptiles together. Well, it's just that we had a common immune system. It's not just birds, it's like bears, they're mammals. Because seagulls and bears go into human garbage dumps and they eat the rotten food, contaminated, and there's like people throw their dirty pampers in there from their baby poop. They all go in there. Those animals are like they're digging around and like stuff that you think is so contaminated and dirty. They'll be out there and Shunya dump. Shunya is right next to Thunder Bay, Canada. It's a rural area and they got an outdoor dump. I mean, people have had all that COVID, all those masks. Oh, where do they go? Well, they're in the COVID. They're where? No. Where the fuck are they? They go in the green garbage bags. Where's that? The Shunya dump. What's that? That's a hotbed of COVID virus. You figure it out. Everybody who has been like for the past couple of years throwing away them masks, how many people actually had COVID? According to your figures, you people who believe in the muggle's spell that you put upon yourself by watching that stupid fucking tell-lie-vision. Say it again. Tell-lie-vision. How did you become a muggle? You went to government-owned schools and you watch corporate media designed to trick you into being a muggle, and you believe it through and through because you're born into a society that was already muggleized. Every metaphysical teacher is going to tell you, as you believe, so it is for you. James Allen, as a man thinketh. Famous self-help book. Etc., etc. I'm sorry, I'm going to stand here in my truth. Mary Baker Eddy in the late 1800s knew you kind of people. Muggles on purpose. People who take the blue pill from Morpheus because you refuse to wake up to the real reality. You know the real reality is going to take you out of your comfortableness. So you take the blue pill, knowing that Morpheus and Neo, Keanu Reeves, are staring at you. You motherfucker. If it's Bobby Burrows, I'm calling you a fuckface because you take the blue pill every day and pretend that the Matrix is real and that you're a human in it and you need to go run around like a chicken with your head cut off, going around buying off cut off heads of chickens so you can make chicken soups and pretend that you're, I don't want to tell you again and again. Because you're very cozy in your bullshit, I don't know, your brainwashed sheeple lifestyle. I can't help you out. I'm sorry. I mean, even your psychiatrist is going to tell you the same thing. No, they won't. They're brainwashed as you. But I, who took psychiatry, no, well, I guess I don't know. What do you call it? It's on-the-job training, living here at I don't know, the mausoleum of the dead, the zombies everywhere. I'll go with the mausoleum of the dead. Okay, well, the Theatre de Vampire in Paris. Anne Rice described it for you in maybe the Vampire Armand. Interview with the Vampire. I don't know. It was one of those sequels, but there was a bunch of Paris vampires who had a coven, as if they were witches or something, and they put on a play every night in this beautiful building. Beautiful, beautiful, elaborately, ornately decorated. And the rich tourists would come in, and the vampires would perform. They showed you this in the movie Interview with a Vampire. And then, well, then, if the vampires are hungry, then they ate the audience. I don't know. Somebody told me the other day it was Diane. Diane Gridlewin. I don't know. She's the one that keeps following around, telling me ridiculous things that knock me on my ass, and then I start to think about it twice. Well, she told me that Betty White was a vampire. I'm not Betty White. Not my Betty with the Golden Girl. She's a vampire. She said, yeah, she's a vampire. It's like, in other words, she's undead. She said, yeah, because I said the other day at Muscle Test, she's in 5D Earth. And this other woman, she's telling me, well, I don't know exactly what you call it. All I know is that she's the undead and she's never dead. And her name, but I don't know. Anyways, that's not exactly. I got she was 26 years old in 5D New Earth. That's what happens to good people who drop dead, in this earth, and they don't want to reincarnate back in this place because we're about to close this place out. I thought it was closed out already. It's an old story we've been carrying for months that 3D Earth is going to be dematerialized, but I don't know. They seem to be keeping it open. Well, because Reverend Kane has gone a little bit insane. Reverend Kane from Poltergeist. Well, I don't know. Because I gotta see if we can muscle test. Okay, remember how to muscle test? This is how you muscle test, okay? You get the fuck off finger and the thumb. Okay? That's my fuck off finger. I'm gonna rotate it. Add my thumb. That's a ring. Okay? Now I'm gonna hold something in mind that I wanna test. Okay, so we're going to test let's see. Reverend Kane calibrates over 200 on the scale of human consciousness. Yes. Okay, over 250, 300, 400, 400. Reverend Kane from Poltergeist, the scary guy? He's at 400. Well, this was a side effect of, I can't really believe it. Well, Reverend Kane, anyways, there he is. He's 400. Well, because I don't know. Everybody thought he was a devil, but I was telling you earlier in my talk today that Reverend Kane, devil or not, he was trying to scare people into the right direction. You got to go towards God. He told Craig T. Nelson, "You're going to die." He wasn't lying. I mean, Craig T. Nelson, as a normal, middle-class American, is scheduled to die as a mortal human being. So Reverend Kane was right. In other words, waste no time. You got to go find Dr. David R. Hawkins and get that book, translations into the renewables. Well, I don't know. That's what I got. Is it true? Reverend Kane is real, yes, and now he's like, I don't know, a huge jump in consciousness over 200, or maybe he was 200 before. It doesn't matter. That's where he is now. He needs to get up higher, though. He needs to get to 540. But wow. So if he's at 400, then he's stuck in his rational mind. That's what it means. If you're in the 400s, it means you're still trying to figure it out, think it out. And the immediate thing you need to do is remember this is a monkey mind. And all spiritual wisdom always says, let your heart chakra. So study the heart here on the heart chakra diagram. It's the green. And this one is love, agape love. And this is the one that works best for everybody, because when you're in this heart chakra, you're not selfish. You can't be selfish when you're in here. Well, just go with that one. I don't know, is a truth they just gave me, okay? So you go in here, thump right here, say, okay, green chakra, you lead. And this one here, be a servant, because it's an excellent servant. They always said the mind is best as the servant to the heart. So whatever color this one is, becomes a servant to heart chakra. They all in the end become a servant to heart chakra. Because, well, that's how that's how we become, what do you call that one? Noosphere. The noosphere? Yeah, noosphere. Teilhard de Chardin, you can look it up on Wikipedia. He was a French priest, and he predicted that we would get a global organic database that we'll have access to. I related to the Akashic Records, that you don't need to have brain implants and hook you up. It's not internet, it's nothing technological. It's built in you. You just turn up your dial on the scale of human consciousness. You get, you just go up to Transcending the Levels of Consciousness by David R. Hawkins is the book you need to get right now. Don't forget that if you have questions, then please stay tuned, because I'll be giving you more talks real soon. And don't forget, if you know of anybody that you think this would drive them crazy, in other words, they're incredibly egotistical, and they just want to say, like, a shout out to you. Okay, this one today is going out to everybody whose first name is Gary. All of you Garys are being chastised. Stay tuned for my next video, and I'm going to chastise Jerry.